Looks like we are live. Well, hello everybody out there in Facebook and YouTube that are watching us. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is our 4th out of 5 live tea events, international live tea series. Ordinarily, in a normal year, these would happen in person, but due to the unique circumstances of the last 12 months or so, we are doing them all virtually. So we appreciate everyone that's tuning in and watching. Basically, what happens in these events is we have 2 representatives, 2 chairpersons that are speaking on and representing a couple of Albuquerque's sister cities. If you are interested in the Sister Cities program, it's a 501c3 nonprofit. If you're interested in more about it, please check out the link below, abqsistercities.com. I'm going to let Alma and Pam and Nathan introduce themselves, and then we will get started.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pam.
Hello, everyone. So good to see you on this Sunday afternoon. My name is Pam Feather. I'm the president of Albuquerque Sister Cities. I had the pleasure of working in Chihuahua City for a couple of years, so I'll be sharing part of the presentation with Alma.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alma Solis, and I'm the chairman for Chihuahua, Mexico, and I've been the chair for 20 years. For Chihuahua, Albuquerque, Chihuahua.
Hi, I'm Nathan Young. I'm the chair for Helmstadt, Germany. I've been the chair since 2009.
All right, wonderful. Well, Pam and Alma will be the first to present. They're going to take us on a virtual exploration of Chihuahua, Mexico.
Hello, everyone. Chihuahua is a beautiful city. We're going to explore Chihuahua with you today. Just to set the tone, in 2020 marked 50 years of Chihuahua and Albuquerque being sister cities. So that's a major milestone. We'll be acknowledging it this year where we can do more interaction between the two cities. Not in a trip, but just getting, being able to talk more and do more. So that is exciting to me. Next slide. If you don't know where Chihuahua is, if you look at this map, you see New Mexico, it's just south. It's the state of Chihuahua, as well as Chihuahua City being the capital for the state. So both having the same name, and it's about 1 million people in the whole metropolitan. So very similar to Albuquerque's greater metropolitan. It's semi-arid, very similar to our weather and climate. It also is similar to us too, with the idea that we're surrounded by mountains. Chihuahua has mountains surrounding it. So there's a lot of similarities between the two cities. It also is a very industrial city. It has emerging technologies and mining and agriculture and ranching. And it is a major hub between central Mexico and United States. So it's a major transportation hub for goods going either direction out of the state of Chihuahua. Whether you know it or not, or if you've looked at your labels on your food, a lot of our food comes from Mexico. Avocados, Chihuahua. That's where they come from. So now you know. Next slide. Chihuahua has such a beautiful mix. It's starting with, this is the most famous cathedral, the Cathedral of Chihuahua, and it is your colonial architect. And it's downtown, in the downtown square area. And so this one at night, it's just so spectacular when it's lit up like this. And you can see the city lights around it. And we also have a lot of murals. So next slide. When you hear Chihuahua, a lot of people say, oh, yes, I have one. And they're talking about their puppies or their dogs. So there's a lot of murals around Chihuahua of the dog. And this one you can see out of City Hall. It's across from it, and it's in the downtown area. So next slide. And we move clear into modern art. Modern still art, these statues are all over the place. And this one happened to be downtown, and they were done by Sebastian. And the most famous one we'll see in the video is named what, Alma?
La puerta.
Yeah, you'll see
La
it.
puerta. The door.
The door. And it's a big arch, and you'll see it in the video that we'll watch in soon. So next slide. This amazing event that I got to attend in 2019 is a concert center outside. It's sort of like an amphitheater. There's seating, and they had a full orchestra performance, and the citizens of Chihuahua came from everywhere to listen to this performance, and they set fireworks off at night. And this is provided by the city of Chihuahua. It's just such a wonderful cultural event that the city provides to their citizens of their community. Next slide. We can't go anywhere without talking about food. The most famous food is their cheese that the Mennonites make. And oh my goodness, is it delicious. There are so many things we could talk about with food. Just picked out a couple of things. Mole is something very well known to the area. If you haven't tried that, you must. It's very different, very delicious. Next slide. And tacos. Al pastor, my favorite. There are so many great taco places around town, and this meat is just delicious. Making me hungry. Okay, next slide. Alma is going to share a very, very special project that I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear about.
For 15 years, I've been helping establish a relationship with Albuquerque Fire Department and Police Department to Chihuahua. We've been assisting the Chihuahua Fire Department and Police Department with training, equipment, and most important is that they come and do also like a couple of them or 3 of them every other year, or maybe every 3 years. They will come and do a training as here in Albuquerque. We provide a training for as a fire department for 3 to 4 months, and they go with a certification of international already. So they come, and when they go to Chihuahua, one of them became a chief of Chihuahua with all the training and knowledge that he learned from here. So they're very, we work very good, very close, and I'm very happy to be part of that liaison.
So next slide.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, and this moment over here, Chihuahua, as a matter of fact, we were in Ciudad Delicias next to Chihuahua, and they were giving me, this is the city council for the public safety, and he was giving me an award of recognition for the help that I've been doing with them. So I was very happy, I was very glad, and I was very appreciate that to receive this award.
Next slide.
This is the one. This is the plaque that they gave me as a reconocimiento. I mean, acknowledge that I've been helping them a lot.
And since it's in Spanish, we'll tell you. Oh, back one, please. It says, for her great performance in being our sister city's liaison, always ready to contribute to the development and improvement of the fire department of our community. And this she received in 2019. So we're very very happy with the relationship between the two cities and
Likewise.
being able to help in the service organization. You know, it's very important for both our cities. So, next slide, please. In 2019, June of 2019, we had a wonderful trip down with Mayor Keller to set up a new, it's called a Chihuahua Bilateral Commission. And Mayor Keller and Mayor Maria Eugenia Campos Galvin signed this agreement, and what it's about is UNM Center for High Technology Materials and the Centro de Investigación y Materials, which is another technology center in Chihuahua, signed this agreement to where they can work on projects together or ideas or innovation for future technologies. And it's really exciting to be able to know that between the two cities, we're going to be sharing information and coming up with new ways of doing things. And it just, the community involvement between both communities is so strong. So next slide. And this was the group that was involved with this, and it's people from our community in Albuquerque, from sister cities, from Mayor Keller and his staff, from the Hispano Chamber of Commerce, from the New Mexico Trade Alliance, the Heritage Corporation. There was such a widespread of both government and citizen representation that went. And then on the Chihuahua side was the same recipient of government and people who are involved in business or involved with technology in the community that participated as part of this. So next slide.
And what, let's see, when did we went over? That was in January or 2020 or 2019?
In February
February
2020.
22 years. In the last year, in February 2020, we went to El Paso to a summit, to Mexico-U.S. summit. The El Paso hosted. That we met with the mayors from El Paso, Ciudad Juárez, and mayor from Chihuahua, Maru Campos. We also did. We talked about the issues for the borders, to the border issues for safety and business. So we help do arrangements with other cities in Chihuahua and with Albuquerque. And then the mayor from Chihuahua was a guest, and she was a guest in this summit, and she was a great speaker, and it was part of our panel discussion too.
So next slide. This one.
This one here. When the pandemic started, it usually happened about 2 or 3 months after we started here in the United States. So when they started in Chihuahua, they were not like anybody else. We were not prepared. So Mayor Campos from Chihuahua went to all the neighborhoods that they had a very not this big facilities for water. So she installed big tanks. So there was no excuse for anybody to sanitize their hands. They put the water tanks in a tank of soap next to the water tank, so everybody can pass by, and before anything else, they had to wash their hands. And so when they take the bus, the public bus, or or they're walking or they were going to the store just to sanitize. And those tanks were filled daily. So that was a big help for everybody to prevent it, get sick.
You can just talk to
And the next month, at the end of the next month, the end of next month in June, the new mayor from Chihuahua, with Mayor Maria Angelica Granados, and everybody knows her by Mayor Monkey. She will be traveling to Albuquerque to meet with Mayor Keller and the officials from Chihuahua. They are on the way to Colorado, and they're going to come stop and introduce herself with the authorities over here in Albuquerque, and just to start a beautiful, nice new relationship with the new mayor.
So, just a little side note here. Mayor Campos Galvin is the first female mayor for the city of Chihuahua. She is now moving on for
Also the first mayor in the history of Chihuahua that was reelected.
first new one for me. And now she is moving on to be
the next governor of Chihuahua.
For the state of Chihuahua. So Mayor Monkey is the second female to go into office in Chihuahua. This is big for the whole state of Chihuahua. So just to share some exciting information with our group. And we have a most wonderful video for you to sit back and enjoy seeing what does it look like and what is there in Chihuahua.
It's beautiful.
Visitante, con el gusto de saludarte, te invito a vivir la experiencia que esta gran ciudad ofrece. Bienvenido a Chihuahua, ciudad moderna y con historia.
hope you enjoyed it. And now we'll learn about another country far away from Mexico.
Thank you.
Hi, again, I'm Nathan Young, the chair for Helmstadt, and I'm here to present a little bit about Helmstadt. Can you show the first slide? Helmstedt has been our sister city since 1983. Actually, May 29th, 1983 is when we were established. So we're coming up on our 40th anniversary, which is pretty exciting. Our next slide, please. This is the symbol of Helmstedt. It's on the flag. It's an image of Saint Lugarius. He was in what is now Helmstedt in 798 with Charlemagne during a battle at the Elbe. And after the battle, he established a monastery, and he became the patron saint of Helmstedt and is on all the flags and images that represent Helmstedt. Helmstedt was on the border of former East and West Germany. And everywhere you go around Helmstedt, when you're about to cross the former border, you'll see this sign stating that up until the 23rd of December 1989, at 10 o'clock in the morning, this was the border between two countries. So there's a lot of history rooted in the former, like the Cold War with East and West Germany, and they've preserved a lot of the historical sites and sections of the border. And when you go to Helmstedt, you'll see a lot of that, and they've done a great job at preserving their history. Next. This is where Helmstedt is on the map of Europe. If you go to the next slide, you'll see that Helmstedt is between Berlin and, actually it's not there, between Berlin and Braunschweig, or Hanover. So it's in northern Germany. This is a map of the region of Helmstedt. And what's really nice about Helmstedt is it's next to the Lappwald forest. So there's so much you can do outdoors in Helmstedt. There's biking and hiking and just, I mean, you can't get away from nature. It's quite beautiful. Next to the city hall, there's a monument for the sister cities. And this is our plaque. It's really nice. It says that we're 6,000, has the distance in kilometers in the direction. We'll see a picture of this in a future slide. Also, which is really nice, next to the city hall is this maypole, and it has all the different flags for the different sister cities. So you can see on the lower right hand side is Albuquerque's symbol. They really take pride in their sister cities. Next. It's another image from, you can see that fountain right there. That's the sister cities fountain. And you can see around the fountain is the strips that document the different sister cities. And I believe they have 9 sister cities. And then right there to the left is the maypole. In this plaza is where a lot of different activities happen. And here is their city hall. And this city hall was made or constructed in 1904 in the neo-Gothic style. Unfortunately, to build this, they had to destroy their original city hall that was built in 1400. But fortunately in this city, there's over 400 well-preserved half-timbered buildings from the Renaissance and medieval periods. So it's a really charming city to walk around and check out. Next. This is a picture. Every time we go to Helmstedt, we take a photo in front of the city hall or Rathaus with the mayor. This was our last trip in 2019, excuse me. And there's Mayor Schubert and the 13 youth that we took to Helmstedt. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Next, please. And when we have every time we go to Helmstedt, we have a meeting with the mayor in the city hall, in the grand hall, which is quite nice. So we talk about what's going on, what's new with our sister cities, and it's a great experience. And our last group, the youth, they really enjoyed it. There's a picture of the youth looking up at Grand Hall. There's a picture of me with the mayor, Mayor Schubert. And we always bring something from Albuquerque. I believe that was a sand painting that we presented to the city in 2019. This is a group photo from 3 years prior, 2016, I believe. So again, we always get the group photo in front of the city hall, usually after the meeting. Here's one from 2014. We try to go to Helmstedt every 2 years, and they come here in between. So we've continued to have a great relationship, a very active relationship. And after we meet with the mayor and take the photo, we always get a city tour organized by the mayor's office. And here we are next to the Sister Cities fountain, starting our tour. And here we are on the tour, and we're walking down the main street from the city hall to, it's called the Hausmannturm, or Watchman Tower. And this tower is quite interesting because it's the best preserved and oldest tower in the region from 1300. And every Saturday, there's a few musicians that dress up in the traditional garb of the watchmen, and they play music for the people of Helmstedt and the tourists. And they gave us a special concert the last time we were there, which was quite nice. There's the tower again, and this is one of the historic buildings. This is the tower. And inside the tower, again, here's the traditional dress of the watchmen. It had some history about it. And the next photo, I believe, here's the musician that performed for us. And she played a traditional medieval instrument. And the students in the group really enjoyed it because their main focus was music. So it was perfect and very enjoyable. This is a view from the Houseman Tower, or the Watchman's Tower. There's another view. It was quite nice because usually tourists can't go inside the tower. You can just go up to the tower, and the city hall organized for us to have a special tour inside it to see how it was constructed, and we were able to get some amazing views of the city. Do you want to continue? This is the view from the tower looking over to the old university. That main building, this is called the Julium or Julium. It's the most historic and old building of Helmstedt from the old university. And this university is quite interesting. It was built in 1576 by Duke Julius of Braunschweig, and it was a Protestant university, and it maintained in service until, what school are the students from? The students actually came from Eisenhower and El Dorado High School. We'll show some more photos of that trip towards the end. And this is another view from the tower. This is from the stairs going up. just a different perspective. And again, there's over 400 historic houses that are perfectly preserved in Helmstadt. And on each house, since it was a university town, it has placards saying Professor so-and-so lived in this building. There's one building where Goethe lived, and the famous poet. So it's quite nice. I mean, you can walk around and just explore the city and check out the different half-timbered buildings, and you'll never be bored. I mean, I've been to Helmstadt more than 10 times, and every time I go, I see something new. They really take pride in their historic city center. This building here was built around 1100, and that's the part of the monastery of Saint Ligarius. And in this monastery, the last few times they've had going away parties for us in the courtyard, which is quite nice. So this is the Ulium, the most famous university building. And in this building is where the students performed. Helmstadt, the city hall, organized a concert for our students and their students to perform together, and it was quite nice. You'll see part of what they performed a little bit later. And here's another image. And this building that you see to the left, the white building, it's kind of whitish gray. It's actually now used as a university again. And in this university, they're teaching immigrants from various countries that have moved to Germany to learn German and to get integrated into the German society. So the university was closed in 1810 originally, but now within the last few years, it's reopened and they're utilizing the buildings. Next image, please. This is the Turkish gate, or Turkumtor, and this gate was put up in 1706 to commemorate the defeat of the Turks. I forget when the Germans and the Austrians were fighting the Turks back in the day. And this some traditional meat. They eat a lot of meat in Germany naturally. Yeah, so. And every time we go to Germany, there's always a farewell party. This party was at the former chair's house of Siegfried Denning. Yeah, so we always get together, take photos, and just have a lot of fun together. I really recommend everyone join us, or please, when we have a chance to go back. Our next trip will probably be in 2023 to celebrate our 40th anniversary. Some more photos of us celebrating together. The gentleman to the far right was Siegfried Denning. There's our own Richard Butler, and there's the president, Joachim Schriebele, and there's, forget who that guy is. And this is at the train station. We always try to get a photo either coming or going from the train station with the Helmstadt sign behind us. It's always a lot of fun, and these are, we'll email out the information, and we do have a newsletter that's quarterly and it's online. This is quite interesting. Right outside Helmstadt are two different grave sites that are 4,500 years old. They call them the Leubenstein, or Leuben stones. It's like they're mini Stonehenge. It's quite nice. I mean, and you'll miss it if you drive too fast, but it's definitely worth checking out. And here's our group, a few of us traveling. And when you do travel to Germany, I always recommend you travel light, the way they are, with one roll-on baggage bag and then your backpack. We do a lot of traveling by train. And this looks like it's the train station in Frankfurt. And here's an image of Siegfried, his wife, and a few of us we presented the Albuquerque flag. And now we're going to show a short video on Helmstedt. I apologize, it's in German, but you'll get a nice overview of how beautiful Helmstedt is. And you can see a lot of the architecture and images. So enjoy.
Helmstedt ist eine Stadt mit einer langen Geschichte. Im östlichen Zipfel von Niedersachsen, direkt im Naturpark Elben-Lappwald und an der Grenze zu Sachsen-Anhalt liegt Helmstedt. Eine erste urkundliche Erwähnung erfolgte im Jahre 952. Als innerdeutsche Grenzstadt war sie für lange Zeit nur eine Transitstation auf der Reise nach Berlin. Und das zu Unrecht. Denn die ehemalige Hanse- und Universitätsstadt ist nun mehr als 1000 Jahre alt und hat einiges zu bieten. In der ansehnlichen Altstadt stehen noch mehr als 400 Fachwerkhäuser. Viele davon stammen noch aus der Zeit der Romanik und der Renaissance. Ein imposantes Gebäude im neugotischen Stil ist das Rathaus. Es ist ein repräsentatives Gebäude, das die Blicke vieler Besucher auf sich zieht. Die Neumärker Straße führt vom Marktplatz bis zum Hausmannsturm. Sie ist die Hauptgeschäftsstraße der Innenstadt und wurde 1965 in eine Fußgängerzone umgewandelt. Alte Fachwerkbauten, alte Geschäftshäuser und moderne Läden prägen das heutige Bild dieser Geschäftsstraße. Der Hausmannsturm war das westliche Stadttor von 4 Stadttoren der ehemaligen Befestigungsanlage. Er ist auch der einzig erhaltene Stadtturm im Braunschweiger Land und heute das Wahrzeichen von Helmstedt. Der Name dieses im 13. Jahrhundert erbauten Turms geht auf den Hausmann zurück, der in dem Turm wohnte. Er wachte nicht nur über die Stadt, sondern war auch gleichzeitig der Stadtmusikus. Die Tradition des Turms ist bis heute in Helmstedt erhalten geblieben. Jeden Sonnabend bläst er mit seinen Gesellen und dem Lehrling die Woche ab. Die alte Universität, das Julium. Im Jahre 1576 gründete Herzog Julius von Braunschweig-Lüneburg in Helmstedt eine protestantische Universität, die bis 1810 bestand. Das Hauptgebäude, ein palastartiger Renaissancebau, wurde erst nach dem Tod des Universitätsgründers von seinem Sohn Heinrich Julius errichtet. Zum Andenken an seinen Vater nannte er es Julium. Die prächtige Aula wird heute für Konzerte und andere Veranstaltungen genutzt. Seit 1994 finden hier auch die alljährlichen Helmstedter Universitätstage statt. Im 13. Jahrhundert wurde die Stadt mit einer Befestigungsanlage umbaut. Sie bestand aus einer Mauer, einem Wall und Graben sowie 8 Mauertürme und 4 Stadttoren. Reste der Stadtmauer sind noch an mehreren Stellen erhalten, wie zum Beispiel hier nahe der Walpurgiskirche. Auch Überreste und restaurierte Mauertürme sind noch an einigen Stellen zu erkunden. Im Jahre 1176 gründete Wolfram von Kirchberg, Abt zu Werden und Helmstedt, westlich der Stadt eine Kirche und ein Kloster für Augustinerchorfrauen, das Kloster St. Marienberg. Das Kirchengebäude wurde dreischiffig und in Kreuzform erbaut. Nach der Reformation 1569 wurde das Kloster in ein evangelisches Damenstift umgewandelt. Charlotte von Veltheim gründete 1569 unter anderem eine Paramentenwerkstatt, in der Textilien zur Ausschmückung von Kirchen hergestellt werden. In einer Schatzkammer werden kostbare mittelalterliche Textilien, das älteste stammt aus der zweiten Hälfte des 13. Jahrhunderts, gezeigt. Eine Besichtigung ist nach Vereinbarung möglich. Auf einem Feldzug an der Elbe im Jahre 798 begleitete Lindger, der Bischof der Sachsen und Friesen, Karl den Großen. In diesem Zusammenhang entstand in Helmstedt eine Missionszelle, aus der sich ein Benedikterkloster St. Ludgeri entwickelte. Im Güterverzeichnis von St. Ludgeri erscheint 1160 die St. Stephani-Kirche. St. Stephani wurde als Mittelpunkt eines Handelsplatzes erbaut und auch genutzt. Das Waldbad Bürkerteich ist durch seine herrliche Lage im Lappwald eines der schönsten Freibäder im norddeutschen Raum. Die Gründung des Freibads geht zurück in das Jahr 1873. 1952 wurde das Waldbad komplett umgebaut und neu eröffnet. Ein 50 Meter Schwimmbecken, ein Sprungbecken mit einem 10 Meter Sprungturm, ein Nichtschwimmerbecken mit einer Rutsche und ein modernes Babybecken locken jährlich unzählige Besucher an. Ein großzügig angelegtes Außengelände bietet Raum für Erholung und sportliche Aktivitäten. 1999 wurde das Waldbad Bürkerteich vom Land Niedersachsen in das Verzeichnis der Kulturdenkmäler aufgenommen. Ein herrlicher Ortsteil der Stadt ist das Brunnental, das seit 1871 die amtliche Bezeichnung Bad Helmstedt trägt. Nach der Entdeckung der Heilquelle im 18. Jahrhundert entwickelte sich hier ein reger Badebetrieb, an den noch heute Gebäude und Namen erinnern. Um 1900 wurden hier aufwendige Villen errichtet, die noch heute zu bewundern sind. Das erste Kurtheater wurde im Brunnental 1815 eröffnet. Nach dessen Abriss entstand 1927 an der
Hello. We have a few more photos to show you that were taken during our last trip in 2019. And again, this trip was a youth trip. 12 or 13 of our youth went over to Helmstadt and performed with youth in Helmstadt. We formed a sister city band, essentially, and it was under the direction of Sam Nesbitt, the music director at El Dorado High School. Or wait, excuse me, Eisenhower Middle School. And yeah, it was quite successful. If you want to go to the next image, please. And then we've seen this one. The next one, please. Here's a picture of them practicing or rehearsing in Helmstedt with the students. It took over 3 years to organize this and make it happen. We talked about it a few years ago, and it took us a while to find someone that was willing to take on the project in regards to like conducting and directing the music for this program. And thank goodness Sam Nesbitt was willing to do that. There Sam Nesbitt is with the students. So every day we'd rehearse during our week-long trip there. And then in the afternoons, we would go travel and see the sights around Helmstedt. And there's so much to see in Helmstedt. Wolfsburg, where the Volkswagens are manufactured, is only 18 miles away, and that's actually the largest source of employment in the area. Over 50,000 employees work at that Volkswagen factory. And this is a picture of the Ulium where the students performed. Here's another image of the Leuvenstein, and our youth went there and checked them out. Here's another image of the border. Here's an image of them practicing. It was amazing how it just worked together. I mean, before we left for Germany, the students in Helmstadt practiced and our students practiced a few times and got to know the music. So it just naturally formed into one band. It's quite nice. This is an image of the audience, and it was well received. Like I said, the city of Helmstedt publicized it in the local media, newspapers, on the radio that this concert was going to occur, and it was free to the public. And this is inside the Ulium. And now we're going to show you a video of our Albuquerque students and Helmstedt students practicing.
All righty, let me pull Pam and Alma back up here. They're connecting. All right, well, thank you so much for those presentations. I'm sorry about the little technological glitch. Facebook kicked us off there for a moment, but we came back and we had our viewers come back. I saw them there. So thank you, everybody that hopped back on. We appreciate you. And we want to remind you to also come back next month on June 13th. We're doing our last live tea event, and we are presenting on Lusaka, Zambia, and Albuquerque, Spain. Does anybody want to mention anything before we sign off?
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Please stay tuned. We plan to have trips to Helmstedt within the next 2 years, 2023.
Awesome. And I did add in there a link where people can look at the newsletters as well, so on our website.
Thank you. And yes, we're very excited to have everybody participating. We look forward to meeting you in person again someday soon. So if you would like to become a member of Sister Cities and get updates and news, that information's on the website listed below. So we look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for sharing your Sunday afternoon with us.
Absolutely. We'll see you back here in
Thank
June.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.